Nestled at the eastern entrance of Commencement Bay, Browns Point Lighthouse stands as a sentinel of maritime history and community heritage in Tacoma, Washington. Established in 1887, the original Browns Point light was a simple white lens lantern mounted on a post, guiding ships safely into the bustling ports of Tacoma. By 1903, a wood frame lighthouse and keeper's cottage were constructed, marking the area's growing significance in maritime navigation. Beyond its navigational role, Browns Point Lighthouse is a cherished community landmark. The Point's Northeast Historical Society maintains the site, offering tours and operating 2 museums, the History Center and the Boathouse Museum, which showcase maritime artifacts and local history.
Point's Northeast Historical Society was created in 1986 by 3 local women, and they have a very strong love for their community and for the history of the area. So they decided to work with the Coast Guard and get these buildings on the National Historical Register. Every summer, between Memorial Day and Labor Day on Saturdays from 1 to 4, we host tours of the boathouse, the bell house, and the cottage, and they're open to the public to come in and have guided tours with our volunteer docents.
We are one of the few Art Deco lighthouses of all the lighthouses out there. Not many places can you go and see a 1903 lighthouse cottage that's been fully preserved. I think the other thing that makes us unique is we have preserved all 8 of the lighthouse buildings in the park.
We used to offer a lighthouse keepers program, but then that turned into more of a vacation rental stay. People are welcome to book on Airbnb or VRBO and stay for as long as they would like and experience the park and the historic property and get a different experience that you might not get at a regular vacation rental.
It is absolutely fabulous. It's got 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, all period furnishings. It's very comfortable, has cooking facilities, has about everything that you could want or need, and it is so cozy, and it is full of photographs and information about the lighthouse and about the park and about ships in the area.
Today, Browns Point Lighthouse stands not only as a navigational aid, but as a symbol for Tacoma's rich maritime heritage and the enduring spirit of its community.
Every docent has their own stories they share, and every docent has their favorite thing here. My favorite thing is really telling the stories about our original lighthouse keeper, Oscar Brown, and his wife, Annie, coming here by boat when there's no water, no electricity, no roads, and they're having to push the cow off the edge of the boat, hoping the cow swims to shore. So starting out here, when nobody's here and you're the only people here, and you've got your fruit trees, you got to plant your garden. I love telling stories about the mosquito fleet, the fleet of boats on the Puget Sound, which was the only way people could go visit their neighbors or go see a concert or have goods and services delivered to your home.
One of the main reasons I joined the Historical Society is I have a degree in history, but I am newer to the community and wanted to feel like I was part of this community. One of the unique things about our area here in Northeast Tacoma is it feels more like a small town, and being a part of this and helping to restore the buildings and the property is helping to be a part of that community. All the work that we do is done by volunteers, and we are funded by grants and by our Airbnb stays and our membership. So our membership is really important to our ability to keep preserving our buildings and sharing the history.
We, the volunteers, have a huge passion to be here and share the history of our lighthouse station. But I also think we all share stories with each other. We love meeting the visitors from all around the world. We will see 4,000 people annually from 31 states and people from overseas, and they're passionate about lighthouses themselves. So the visitors who come kind of excite you and energize you to share your stories.
It was just, to be honest, the quintessential Tacoma and Washington experience. It's just a magical place. It really is. It really made the whole trip just to stay here in this beautiful historic house. It kind of encapsulated everything that we were hoping to achieve from this trip.
My name is Mari G. I am a spoken word artist, singer, and songwriter. Some of the projects that I naturally fall to are the ones that are self-affirming and self-empowering, creating tools to help me get through the things, just daily life and some of adversity that I go through. I'm working on a project that is called Voices Affirmed, and it is an interactive and poetic experience where myself as a spoken word artist and singer, I create a collection of poems and songs that are self-affirming and empowering, as well as creating that with my community. The community and my art are very intertwined because the community inspires my work, and my work is usually about the things that we go through as a community. So I feel that it's very connected because it's something that they could use, it's something that they could sit in and grow from. I want them to feel like they're seen and heard, and I want them to feel somewhat connected to the words, like something that they could relate to, and take away the tools that I've created to empower and affirm myself. So I really enjoy just being in the poetry community and the visual art community because everybody is just very supportive, and it's like a family, like being around people that like the same thing as you, but also they want this within to see the same thing as you. So it's like we're collectively working together to be creative. When I first started, I was somebody who was shy. I was somebody who was afraid to speak up and voice my opinions and ideas. And then as I continued to write more and to be in the spaces where other people are sharing their voice and their stories, I feel like my stories and my messages are very important. So I do my best to just tell them, you know, because there's somebody who was like me who did not have a voice. And just being that example is very inspiring and empowering. It would look like the events that I produce. Like, you know, seeing all the smiles, the faces, the people, us holding hands, us dancing, us singing, us rejoicing, us eating good food, listening to good music. I feel like the events that I produce is kind of like my canvas, so I think that's what it would look like.
They love it. They love watching roller derby. They love the physicality of it.
I've been skating for about 7 years.
I've only been skating for about 2 years.
I met roller derby in 2011.
I've been on and off a member of Dockyard since 2010. I watched a benefit bout for the Lakewood Police Department, and I saw girls skating, and I'm like, I could do this. So I signed up there and then started playing derby almost immediately after. super fun, empowering, aggressive sport. It's similar to playing hockey and rugby all mixed together. You wear pads, you have to hit each other legally, and it's not like the old school whip it.
Roller derby was kind of reinvented right around the year 2000 by some women who felt that the original image of roller derby was completely wrong, that image involved a lot of injuries, and they wanted to have roller derby that was more oriented towards the athletic. Leagues that we have here in the Puget Sound area, they've been part of this movement of building women's roller derby from nothing, and it's been quite a movement.
We put on our own production, so we're the ones that set everything up and get everything in place. So we're working up until pretty much we start skating. So there's no time to just kind of shake off the nerves and get mentally prepared for the game, because I'm nervous about setting up, making sure everything's done in time, and then skating. You always want to do your best, you always want to win, so you just gotta brush off those nerves and be ready to skate.
It's a lot. And you got to think about gameplay, and you have to be thinking about what should you be doing when you're on the track, and where's the jammer. You got to have a lot to be thinking about the whole entire time.
Each team has 4 blockers and 1 jammer on the track at a time, right? And the 2 jammers are behind the blockers. It's the job of the jammers to get in front of the blockers, right? But what attracted me to roller derby, these 2 jammers trying to jockey for position. They're natural opponents. They are there to run each other off the track, right? But they looked at each other and they smiled and they gave each other a big hug. And then they went to run each other off the track.
Despite how physical we play, like there's so much love and positivity just within the sport and this team too.
When we're hitting each other, it's not personal, it's all good fun.
It's always been open and inclusive and accepting of everybody. And Dockyard used to be, back in 2010, a lot of moms that just needed a release and a reason to get out and do things. Derby has evolved, and we accept all kinds of people. And it's just nice to be with people that are happy and want to do the same thing as you, and also be competitive and hit you.
A lot of us weren't athletic as younger people, and like many of us came to this as adults. Like this is a lot of people's first time like being part of a team sport. Despite it being such a brutal sport, there is this like wonderful connection that we all have no matter where you are in your life. We have teammates, like I've had teammates that are post 50 like playing with us, and then we have 18-year-olds that just like recently graduated and become adults. So it's just this wonderful connection despite it being so brutal.
But if you're going to have a violent body contact sport, if you're friends with your opponent before and after, then things have gone well. And so I've stuck with roller derby on that principle ever since.
I came into roller derby having never roller skated at all, but my mom played roller derby, so I watched her growing up. So I knew that when I got to a more stable place military-wise, when I was going to be somewhere for a long time, I was going to join roller derby. That's what I did. I found the league here in Tacoma, and now, am I allowed to cuss?
You can.
Kicking ass.
A lot of the derby organizations everywhere, including in Tacoma, we're just trying to give back to the community. We're a nonprofit organization, and so we do a lot of outreach.
People, they get really into roller derby, so they love coming back and checking us out, coming to our games. So we see a lot of the same faces in the community once we build those relationships.
They become fans, and we like start recognizing our fans, and we have all these opportunities to like still interact with these people and bring them into us without them being on skates.
Roller derby is not a separate world unto itself. Roller derby is made up of members of the community.
I have friends to call when I'm having a crisis at home, or if they're having a crisis, they know they can call Dozer. A lot of people call me Mom Dozer. Just hard to meet good people with common interest, and so that are supportive. This is just a great way to do that.
I love these people so much. They're just so wonderful and uplifting constantly. Even on my worst days, like showing up here and knowing I'm not 100% physically, They always raise me up in some capacity.
Moving around a lot in the military, I never really have a solid group of friends that stay with me in one place. So I knew when I got here, I wanted to find a group of friends that I could have for however long I'm here. That's a solid group, same values, supportive group, and everyone's here to have fun, play hard.
Dockyard has been here in the Tacoma community for 20 years now. They are Tacoma's roller derby league. Poetry has been that form of expression that I've returned to over and over again to really get leveled in my own mind with where I'm at. My name is Burl Battersby, and I'm the executive editor of Voices of Tacoma, a gathering of poets. We started at a coffee shop in 2022, and there was a conversation being had about the fact that there hadn't been an anthology of poetry of Tacoma poets since 2009. So we decided it was time. Hey, Steve, hey. We were able to receive the Tacoma Artists Initiative program funding. So the project officially launched in March of 2023. And so we did the monthly gatherings with a partnership with the Tacoma Public Library, which turned out to be an amazing opportunity to spend time in each of the library branches across the city.
The work that was done to create the anthology, The Voices of Tacoma, was already done when I swooped in. And so I work as a community and information specialist at the Swayze branch of the Tacoma Public Library, and I wanted to find a place where we could get a gathering of poets to share the book, and then it turned into something more.
I had been writing poetry just for myself, just like on my phone, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to this. I'm gonna read one of the poems I wrote. Because how else am I supposed to get over my social anxiety? You know, rather than that exposure therapy, right? And so I go there, and you know, they start talking, they introduce, and then they go, does anybody want to read? And I volunteered to go first. I was shaking, right? Like, and I still shake every time I read a poem, regardless if it's these people that I see every month, right? And but I shook, and I sat down, and I was like, and then like the positive feedback came, right? And the encouragement and the validation is a word I use often when I talk about this group.
I didn't know what to expect. The proceedings were very peaceful, kind of like not in the judgmentalism of a courtroom, but in the encouragement of let's start to share. Let's all start to share.
We want to be open to allow poets and creatives to express themselves and to develop that comfort level amongst the community to be able to express themselves. We started, and it was a monthly gathering, but we also did workshops and other events. We have had close to 500 creatives come to events over the last 2.5 years that we've been doing this. And it's just been amazing to see the spark that happens when you bring these individuals into that space together and allow them to start to be creative and to share their stories and to be able to build upon each other.
Well, that really encouraged me because I actually came from a small town where there wasn't that much availability. And so I was actually quite delighted. I read and wrote a lot about transhumanism, mythology, and religion. Well, so a lot of my poetry was about that. I was able to get it out of my system somewhat at these gatherings, which freed me up to move on to other stuff. Poetry for me, it was actually a processing process back with the 3 topics I mentioned also, which were more intellectual and reading material. But this is more, for me, getting emotional processing.
we were benefiting from a rich community that already existed. Creative Colloquy, Right 253, Blue Cactus Press. There were so many organizations that were doing such great work in the area, and we saw ourselves as an opportunity to build upon that, but not to compete.
Just fun group of people that is also just happy to share strange art or not strange art or whatever, just things that make your heart swell in a lot of ways, different ways, right? And if you want to be a part of that, just come in. You don't have to stay, who cares, you know? And I brought a friend last time, and he didn't share, he writes himself, but he just wanted to, he was like, I need a community. I said, I know some folks.
People can come just to listen to the Voices of Tacoma or to share their poetry. We've created a very safe space for folks to come and to be able to share their creativity with us.
Even if you think you can't write poetry, you can. Poetry isn't defined by rhyming or structure. It's defined by you defining it. And I think that everybody can do poetry. Even if you think you're quote unquote a bad writer, I think everybody can do good.
Poetry is obviously one of my hobbies, and I always present that. And I'm always looking for poets in new people that I meet. And I frequently ask, do you happen to write poetry? Not very frequently that I get a positive answer, but I do. I get positive answers, and then I present the gathering of poets.
I truly believe that the community that we live in, Tacoma, is such a rich, vibrant art community, but we always have to be asking ourselves, what can we do to continue to foster that? How can we continue to build upon that with using the resources and the partnerships that already exist? We don't need to recreate this. We need to bring new groups back into these spaces, like the library and the parks.
This is called a gathering of poets. We coexist. We are not an audience. We are a community. We are responsible to each other, so share your critical thoughts and innovative ideas. Share, give, and receive feedback. Share yourself and be seen. We build trust with lyrics, clarify life with metaphors, and expect meaningful conversations. We are aware of our impact even if we are uncomfortable. We can speak our truths while realizing others are listening, connecting, and questioning. If there is harm, we can address it. If someone is alone, we can join them. If a person stands up, we can support them. While we try to understand each other's voice, we can also agree that disagreement is natural. Promise to be openly human and passionate, uncover who you are, and be accountable for what you say. Reciprocity is the key for community. Later on, we'll reflect on what we've done here today.